Celebrity impersonators are insane. Hello, you gorgeous donuts. Many people look to celebrities for inspiration. They put celebrities on a pedestal, and sometimes some people want to be them. However, some people take it one step too far and actually revolve their whole life around being that person. In this video, we're going to discuss the very worst of this occurring with two of the biggest celebrity impersonators I've ever seen. Now, I find this topic very interesting, so let's discuss it and see what we think. So the first impersonator we're looking at today is somebody called Paige Nimon, I believe it's pronounced, and she revolves her whole life around looking and being Ariana Grande, you could argue. Now, for people who don't know who Ariana Grande is somehow, she's like, you know, a phenomenal. She's a thermometer, okay? She is like a phenomenal celebrity / singer, songwriter, actress. She's done it all. So I guess she is somebody that a lot of people would look to for inspiration, but Paige definitely takes it one step too far. Now, Paige herself is an influencer off the back of looking like Ariana Grande. She was born in 2004, also in California, and at around 10 years old in the playground, people used to say to her, like, oh, you look like Ariana Grande. And I believe it was 12 years old where she done her first look to, you know, look a little bit more like her, copy some of her clothing. It's alleged that she used it as a hobby around this time. It wasn't like her whole life, she just did it on the side, I guess. However, over the years, the more that Paige seemed to try and look like Ariana, the more her life seemed to be dedicated to being exactly like her, like trying to make herself identical to Ariana Grande. We're going to have a look at some of the photos, and you're going to see like how like for like these two are in some of them, and it even fools a lot of the commenters. Like, a lot of her comments say things like, I thought this was Ariana, this is scary, you look more like her than she does, which I don't actually know. How can you look more like someone than they do? Surely they look 100% like themselves. Like, does somebody out there look more like me than what I look like me? Now, if you go on Paige Nimon's Instagram, the first photo she has available to see is from 2017, and she's wearing a red wig, and this look is meant to look like Cat Valentine, which I believe is the character that Ariana Grande used to play in Victorious and Sam and Cat. Now, as you can see, you know, you could say there is a resemblance to her. Like, she does look very similar, especially what Ariana Grande used to look like on that show. It is kind of like a scary resemblance, and I can see why people kind of say these things. But again, she's wearing a red wig because she wants to look like Ariana Grande. But again, at this point, you could argue that, you know, it's harmless. She's just doing this to kind of, you know, I guess show her support for Ariana. Again, I don't believe this. I'm just trying to see this from all different perspectives. As you know, on this channel, we don't do hit pieces on people. What I'm trying to say is, if this was a one-off, I wouldn't really think much of it, but it's not a one-off. As a year later, in 2018, all the way up until 2022, Paige would copy Ariana's like brunette look that she had at the time. Ariana would wear like this wing eyeliner, and she would also like have her hair up in like a certain style of bun as well, and Paige would like directly copy that as well. Like, her normal look was trying to look like Ariana. Like, as you can see here, this isn't Ariana Grande, this is Paige, like, recreating the album cover, which again, you could say is like promotion, but it's getting a little bit weird at this point. Again, like, she dances to Ariana's songs, which we obviously can't play because of copyright. But to me, this is somebody that is trying to be, you know, somebody else. I don't think this is actually Paige dancing and she wants everybody to know it's her. I believe she wants people to think it's Ariana Grande. And this just happened time and time again. Like, it is very scary how much she's been able to make herself look like Ariana Grande there. Like, you can see a lot of the comments really don't like this. They're saying, just be yourself. This is pathetic. Bearing in mind, these are from like 7 to 4 weeks ago. This video was posted 164 weeks ago. So over 3 years ago, so people still go back and comment on these videos. Now, from Paige's side, I do wonder if this is even healthy from like a mental health standpoint. Like, should you really dedicate your whole look to look like somebody else? Because then you have no individuality. You know, you can never be as good as somebody else. You can only be the best version of yourself. I know that is such a quote that would be on like a Live, Laugh, Love side or something. Just be yourself because yourself is great. But you know what I mean? Like, if you're copying someone, you're never going to be as good as that person because that person is just being themselves. And what I do think is even more alarming about Paige is she not only copies Ariana's appearance, she does try and kind of, you know, mimic her actions and the way she kind of carries herself as well. Like, it's the little things. I don't know how to really describe them, like point by point, but maybe it's the way that Ariana Grande has her sleeves or the way that she might cover her face. Everything is like down to the T to what Ariana Grande does. And you can tell, you know, that Paige just sat down and kind of studied Ariana's just facial expressions and everything and tried to really nail it. We do have a clip of an interview from her.
You have a lot of followers.
Yeah.
What are you known for? just known for looking like somebody, but yeah.
Yeah, you kind of do, yeah.
See, that interview, I only watched 14 seconds of that. I know instantly she knows that she's not really doing something that she should be doing. Like, why wouldn't you just say it? If you really thought that you were in the right there, why wouldn't you just be like, oh yeah, because I look like Ariana Grande, and have a laugh with it? You know, she doesn't want to say it. It's almost like she doesn't want to be known for that, even though that's all she does. Again, guys, I'm trying to be very conscious because I know that, you know, she is like a young woman. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to like kind of feel like I'm constantly criticizing this person. But when people do f***ed up they do deserve criticism.
That's cool. Have you ever been to a Wicked premiere?
I have not.
Oh, you should go. There'd be some confusion.
Yeah, it would be funny.
Right.
Yeah.
That would not be funny. That would actually give me this face. That's how I would feel. I'd be there going, maybe it's even one of these. You know, just a look of disappointment. Not sadness, just disappointment, love.
What else do you do?
I love shopping. Yeah.
That's hot. What kind of stuff do you shop for?
Clothes.
What kind of clothes?
Just like cute clothes.
Like vintage clothes?
I like vintage stuff, yeah.
So what's the secret to finding cool vintage clothes?
Antique shopping, thrift shopping, stuff.
You know, I go to garage sales and swap meets.
That's cool.
When I'm looking at her, I just think she seems very kind of shy, you know? It's almost like I said, she doesn't have much self-esteem. She, you know, her people skills aren't that great. So I wonder if she kind of spends a lot of time alone and in her bedroom or, you know, wherever, you know, in her house, whatever. And she doesn't really have that much kind of interaction with people. So maybe that's why she doesn't have many people telling her that this isn't the best thing that you should be doing. Or maybe what she's doing has isolated her. Honestly, I'm just making theories off the top of my head here. I'm trying to understand this woman, if I'm honest.
That's some really cool stuff.
Yeah.
Have you tried going to any swap meets?
I have not. Just like flea markets and stuff.
Oh, that's what I meant, like flea markets.
Yeah, flea markets.
Have you been to the Rose Bowl flea market?
I have not.
That's like the biggest, best one of all time.
Really?
It's the second Sunday of every month.
That's cool.
At the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
You know what? I think I'm not telling you the truth. I go to them a lot.
Really?
I vintage shop for clothes.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
Are you wearing vintage now?
I'm not. This is Victoria's Secret.
Well, that was thrilling. Edgy as seat stuff. God, I might rewind that just to make sure I got it all. That's like when you go out with two mates, but like the two mates don't know each other, and you like go to the bar for a drink and you leave them two alone, and they're like, yeah. Been busy? Yeah. No, alright, we'll just, we'll not talk, yeah. Now, just quickly, from Ariana Grande's perspective, can you imagine right now putting yourself in her shoes and seeing someone copy everything you do, but even like your facial expressions and everything? I think you would be a little bit creeped out. Like, if I knew that somebody watching this right now was trying to like study the way that my mouth moves or everything, firstly, I'd be very disturbed. Secondly, I'd be like, what are you doing? Get a different hobby. Thirdly, I'd be a bit creeped out. But no one's trying to be me, hopefully. Okay, aim higher. Okay, guys, do not try and beat me. Reach for the stars, okay? You might hit the moon. Don't reach for me. That's like reaching a lamppost. You're probably going to stay on the ground. But because Paige constantly does the same content over and over, trying to mimic Ariana Grande, that is perfect from an algorithm standpoint, especially a TikTok algorithm, which rewards just having the same content reinvented in a different way. So if somebody can just churn out the exact same video on the exact same topic, you're always going to do well on TikTok because that's just how the platform's built. And that's why Paige has managed to amass over 10 million followers doing this. Like 10 million. I couldn't believe it when I checked her page. I was like, she's probably got like 100,000. 10 million. Do I have a celebrity lookalike, by the way? Do I? Let me know in the comments. If anyone says Sloth from the Goonies, I am going to be severely disappointed. Now, obviously, with someone like Paige, who clearly, you know, prioritizes views over anything, you know, over, you know, having a moral compass, she's just going to lean into this because if she tries to do, I don't know, like a Get Ready With Me where she tries to look like, you know, I guess a bit more individual, they're not going to do as well, and she's, you know, eventually going to kind of, you know, fall off and have to rebuild not doing Ariana Grande stuff, which she doesn't tend to do. Now, we are going to see Ariana Grande's response to Paige doing this, but I do find her audience's response very interesting. Like, Ariana Grande fans seem to despise Paige. Like, I never really see, like, a positive comment underneath her comments, which I am surprised, you know, she's carried on going. You know, clearly she can deal with a lot of hate. Some of Ariana Grande's fans have labelled her, like, a stalker, obsessive, and creepy, and, you know, you can see from their point of view why they would think this. Now, after this phase, Paige wouldn't stop trying to look like Ariana. She would then copy all of her looks after that. One of the most disturbing copies she did was dressing like Ariana Grande on her wedding day. Like, that is scary. Genuinely. Like, why would you try and look like someone on the most special day of their life when they don't want to look like anybody else? Like, this is their day. Like, why are you trying to kind of, I guess, like, profit off someone's wedding day? It is very strange, and it just shows that there's not a line here. Like, she doesn't really value, I guess, you know, Ariana Grande's space, if that makes sense. I know she's nowhere near her, but you know what I mean? Like, if I was on my wedding day and someone, for some reason, decided to copy my exact look, I'd just be like, this is weird. Like, do I need a restraining order? But again, some people do argue that, you know, she isn't directly kind of, you know, impacting Ariana Grande's life, whether you agree with that or not. I'm just offering that opinion from the side. Again, make your own opinions in the comments, donuts. I really appreciate it, and I also like looking through them to see like if I'm kind of on the same wavelength as everyone else. I do find it funny, on this same post she also put like a slide of the carousel that said, "How to win my heart: stickers, candy, mixtapes, art, stuffed animals, pictures, cute socks, lip gloss, handwritten notes." Okay, maybe my quote from earlier isn't that live laugh love after all. I think she should write something else on the bottom and say, "Tell us I look like Ariana Grande as well, you know, straight away, you are the man that she will marry." One thing I will say, that's a wicked post. Go on, please, don't do it. I can see you're not doing it. I don't care if you're alone, do it. After this, she even mimicked the look of Ariana Grande while she was filming Wicked. Like, as you can see, you know, she's done everything to look like Glinda here. Even, you know, to the extent of, you know, even, I don't know if she's edited this photo or whatever, but, you know, even her facial structure, and obviously her hair, the crown, the outfit, everything is identical, you know, and the way that it's shot on a certain angle, it's scary. It genuinely is scary. Top comment: "Now you're just doing this on purpose, bro." And obviously she does reels with it. It's like whenever Ariana Grande has a new thing, it's like, oh well, Paige gets to, you know, eat this month. She gets like loads of money because she's also got like fed with content to do. And this is why I believe this lookalike is a really deep situation, because it's not just a case of copying what they wear. Like I said, even the facial structure and the way, you know, Ariana Grande obviously looks a lot different now to what she used to look like, and you know, Paige is going to look a lot different, but it seems like Paige is trying to look like Ariana Grande looking different, if that makes sense. Like, we see a side by side here, and you know, you can see, well, obviously they don't look identical here, but you can tell that Paige is trying to, you know, look like Ariana Grande. And this is what really worries me, because this is really, really deep. I'm not saying that Paige has had work done to look like Ariana Grande, because I don't know that, and I don't feel comfortable saying that, but it is very interesting how, you know, their facial structures are, you know, very similar now when they shouldn't really be. Even here, like, the side-by-side comparison. Genuinely, she could have been Ariana Grande's stunt double. Just call her Linda, right? Glinda and Linda. Galinda and Linda. Shit joke. Should have pulled out. Don't know why I carried on with it. Anyway, forget that happened. And one thing I have been wondering throughout this video is, you know, where is Paige's family and friends? Like, what do they think about this? Are they supportive of Paige trying to dedicate her life to somebody else and not just be herself? And when I've actually had a look through her page, she's actually had her mother in her videos as well. So clearly her mother must be supportive of Paige doing this. And you can see they're using the Wicked, you know, sound as well. So the mother is very clearly aware of what Paige is doing. And again, I just want to reiterate, you know, like, obviously I've been critical of Paige here, but just from her point of view, like, I can't understand how you could be happy doing this, you know? I can't understand from a mental health standpoint how long term, you know, because she's been doing this for years now, since the age of, like, you know, 12 years old as a hobby. Like, this is going to have a severe effect on your own confidence and your own kind of, you know, self-worth. Are you, like, I don't know, when she wakes up, if she looks at herself in the mirror and she's like, oh, I don't look like Ariana Grande today, would that have a severe impact on her self-esteem? And that shouldn't have an impact on your self-esteem. You should be happy that you look like yourself. But again, I don't want this to come off as like I'm lecturing this person, you know, like as if I'm better than them, because I'm really not. But I am just trying to understand, like, what is the motivation behind this? And it does seem like she has had a fair kind of coverage from mainstream media as well. Now, I don't know if this is real, but she's posted it to her Instagram and, like, kind of thanked Rolling Stone UK. As you can see, you know, it looks like a Rolling Stone kind of, you know, cover piece. I'm gonna go out and say I don't think this is real. That's my opinion. You know, I've googled this and nothing shows up with her name and Rolling Stone, so that's why I don't think that this is real. This is why I think that she's, you know, made it herself. But then again, I'm like, surely you wouldn't make this yourself, because it's really, really weird. Like, why would you also tag Rolling Stone? Like, they could very easily sue you for this if this wasn't real. Putting the logo on and everything. She even, like, See, this can't be. Is this real? A story of identity, ambition, and legacy. Like, I'm not trying to be harsh, but this isn't her identity. And what is the ambition? To just continue looking like Ariana? And what is the legacy? That you look like Ariana Grande? Is that the legacy? Paige is currently in production for her new reality show produced by award-winning director. This series will offer an unfiltered look into her world, capturing the highs, the lows, and everything in between. Now again, like, you know, just because she copies Ariana Grande doesn't mean that she doesn't have some hard times, you know. I imagine in her personal life, she goes through a hell of a lot, okay? Like, nobody knows what goes on behind closed doors. But are people really interested? That's what I want to know. Like, I guess I would be interested if I was an Ariana Grande fan to see the behind the scenes of whatever she was doing, because she's the one, you know, building a brand. But I don't think I would be interested to see what the person who's trying to look like her is doing behind the scenes. I think I can just see that on the surface, no? Now, you probably think this is the craziest this situation gets. Well, you actually haven't seen anything yet, as Paige recently decided that she was going to start an OF account. Now, obviously, you know, if someone wants to start an OF account, that's up to them. You know, if they're comfortable with it, you know, you do you. As long as you're not hurting anybody, right? That's your opinion on that, you know, for yourself. But I do think it is a little bit odd when you're making an OF off the back of looking like somebody else and everybody knows you for looking like that person. So then you've already profited off looking like that person. So now you're going to kind of offer people to look at that person naked, or what they hope that person would look like naked. But they've got you. Do you know what I'm saying? I think we're in really muddy waters here. I feel like we're playing stuck in the mud and no one's running underneath me arm. I'm stuck here. Please run. I just don't understand this. Like, I get it from a financial standpoint. I don't really think you probably make that much money from being a lookalike of someone. So she's probably thinking, I need to cash in on this. But this is not the way. Put yourself in Ariana Grande's shoes. That's the only way you can kind of see this. I know she's like a multi-millionaire, billionaire, but it's still weird on a human level that someone who is trying to look like you and looks identical to you is now doing an OF off the back of you. Like, people are hoping that you would look like that, or it's like you. It's just strange. It is. Come on. We can all agree on that. I can't wrap my head around it because it's just a bit like, oh, you know? It's like icky. I feel like my psoriasis is coming back. I haven't had that for a year. I've been creaming every day, man. And this is how it returns. You're joking. Now, this kind of got Paige the most hate that she's ever got. And, you know, obviously she should get a lot of criticism. Because you could even say it's almost like a form of a deep fake with like OF, you know, and obviously deep fakes are, you know, they're trying to get rid of all of those because those are inheritingly cruel. But obviously this is an actual person who is the deep fake. So does that change anything? Should it change anything? Personally, I don't think so. Now, like I said, there is a small portion of people that actually think that this is totally fine. Like, some people say, well, Paige is her own person. She's using her own face technically. Some people have argued she didn't originally choose to look like Ariana, which again, you could argue like this is her genetics. But she has, you know, pushed her genetics a certain way. Some people have also said that Paige isn't forcing the resemblance, whether you agree with that or not. I don't know. I guess, you know, some people just want to have counter arguments. But I have checked, and from a legal standpoint, according to, you know, the laws where she lives, you know, she can't actually get done for this. But I guess morally, in the court of the internet, she definitely can. Now, like I said, Ariana has actually responded to, you know, Paige's kind of, you know, dedication to her over the years. She said, I am sure she's the sweetest sweetheart for real, but it's definitely bizarre seeing people blend the two worlds. Now, obviously, I guess Ariana's trying to be kind of, you know, kind there, but is also saying, yeah, she's probably really nice, but it's weird though, isn't it? Yeah, she's probably alright, but wouldn't want to meet her, you know? We're not gonna, you know, chill together, watch a movie together. That would be weird. Now, you're probably wondering, like, to present day, is Paige still copying Ariana Grande? And she was, up until around December, where her account actually got banned. So if you try and look at her account now on TikTok, it's no longer there. As you can see here, it just says, like, user and then loads of numbers on her account. She's got the art, 10 million followers. No longer there. Now, I don't actually know the reason for this. Obviously, TikTok's guidelines are just so, like, they can ban someone overnight for nothing, or they might have banned her because of the OF thing, or because Ariana Grande's team might have got in touch. I have no idea, but all I know is she's gone off TikTok. And I am surprised that it took up until 10 million followers for this to happen. Like, what was the switch where they were like, nah, I'm not fancying this anymore. Like, now you've had your fun, but right, photograph. And the last known photo that Paige has actually posted to the internet was on her Instagram in December. It was this photo where she's kind of like sitting on top of someone wearing a Scream mask. I don't believe it is Matthew Lillard. It's probably a lookalike of Matthew Lillard, if we're being honest. And after that photo, she hasn't posted anything. You know, she's kind of left the internet. I don't know if this was around the time that she got banned off TikTok and maybe the criticism just got too much for her. Maybe she made a lot of money from the OF and now she realizes that she doesn't need to post content anymore. I don't know what the reason is, but I am kind of in a weird way glad that she's not doing this anymore. You know, I know this is her career to an extent and this is how she makes her living, but I just think when your whole career is, you know, having a detrimental effect possibly on the person that it's about, I just don't think that's the best kind of way to go about it for yourself and for that person as well. But I am interested to see if Paige ever does come back. She has done collabs in the past with other lookalikes who are trying to be other celebrities, you could argue, and one of them specifically is who we're covering next. Let's see who you think this person looks like. Will Smith. No, it's not, is it? No, probably not. Maybe, I don't know. Yes, that is right. We've got a Taylor Swift one. Now, I actually think she does look a lot like Taylor Swift there. This is Ashley Leech. I do find it funny that her surname is Leechin, you know, considering, you know, what people say about her and Taylor Swift. Now, she is a 32-year-old influencer. I believe she does this full time, and she is also a mother. And she is known for her striking resemblance to Taylor Swift. Like you see in that video when she does her hair and, you know, she dresses like Taylor Swift. You can't argue that she really does look like her. Now, again, if people don't know who Taylor Swift is somehow, like Ariana Grande, she's a very successful singer and songwriter, and I believe she's a billionaire as well. So, you know, if you want to look like anybody, choose a billionaire. Don't do that. Many billionaires are ugly, I think, actually. Now, one thing we didn't really get with Paige was seeing people kind of recognize her for being Ariana Grande, but there is a lot of videos of people recognizing Ashley for looking like Taylor.
It's Ashley. It's Ashley. It's just Ashley. It's just Ashley.
Taylor, I love you so much.
Just Ashley. No, seriously, go.
But even, like, look, I'm not a Swiftie, okay, in terms of, like, I don't know how Taylor Swift dresses normally. But if I imagined what Taylor Swift would dress like, I think she would wear something like this. Again, I'm just guessing here, but I swear I've seen Taylor Swift in a coat like that. I'm not saying that this woman, you know, can't dress like that because she's her own person. She can wear her own clothes. But to me, that looks like her. Like, if I'm just kind of looking, and then if I was walking down the street and someone was being like, oh my God, that's Taylor Swift, and I looked, I'd be like, oh my God, that is her. I'd have to like look and go, oh God, no, it's not. Oh, who are you? Not in a bad way, I just thought you were someone else. I need that map in Harry Potter which, like, you know, tells people's names. I can be like, oh, it's you, Peter Pettigrew, it's not the rat. Now, this is up for you to give your opinion on, but some people argue that Ashley isn't as intense as what Paige is with Ariana. Ashley does do some content that isn't, you know, about Ariana Grande, whereas, you know, Paige, there's very limited of that. But Ashley herself has done some things that you could say is odd. For instance, she bought a cat that very much resembles Taylor Swift's cat. I wish I was kidding.
Part 2. Taylor Swift fans began pointing out that Ashley adopted a cat that looked identical to Taylor Swift's cat, Meredith. Ashley named this cat Sloane. Ashley has also gone out of her way to share her love for the
I was gonna say, like Mark Sloan of Grey's Anatomy,
known longtime favorite of Taylor Swift's as well. And now they both have matching cats that both are named from characters of Grey's Anatomy.
Not McDreamy. No, it's not McDreamy, it's McSteamy. It's Mac someone. I'm gonna have to get a cat now and call it Derek Shepard. Sorry guys, I don't know why I know this much about Grey's Anatomy. Now, obviously, she is well entitled to get whatever animal she wants and call it whatever she wants to call it because she's not hurting anyone. But again, I understand the theory of people going, that cat looks very similar to Taylor Swift's cat, and also, you know, you've named it after a character on a show that Taylor Swift named it. It's so specific, especially when there's already comparisons between you two and you know that. It is a little odd. You have to admit it. And this woman in this TikTok is called Becca Day, by the way, if you want to check out this whole TikTok. She kind of runs you through other things that people have been concerned about regarding Ashley copying Taylor.
Ashley is also notorious for recreating some of Taylor Swift's most iconic and most memorable looks and then posting them on social media. Fans began to notice a pattern with Ashley. Ashley's vibe or aesthetic would often change to match whatever vibe or aesthetic Taylor Swift was expressing at that time.
I can see it. Like, some photos, I look and I go, they look nothing alike. But then some of them, I'm like, oh yeah, from certain angles, I think they do. And obviously those certain angles have been conducted by Ashley. Ashley has done some other things you could say are odd. For instance, she announced that she would be going to the Grammys, bearing in mind Taylor Swift obviously is going to be at the Grammys. However, once she got to the location that the Grammys was on, she stepped off the plane. The company that had like collabed with her to take her to the Grammys had actually revoked that, so she was no longer able to go. She posted on her story saying getting invited to the Grammys as one of the very few chosen to walk the red carpet. 2 weeks prior, being told to make a video to say I am partnering with the Grammys by a deadline date specified in the contract, spending $2,000 on dress, apparel, lodging, travel, childcare, landing in LA, and being told as I am texting that there are no more tickets and I will not be able to attend. Now again, obviously this is not very nice, you know, that you thought you were going to go to the Grammys, you've been told you are and then it's been pulled. That's not nice for anyone, but I can understand why they're probably like, we don't, you know, if we don't kind of want you in the same venue as somebody that, you know, you're possibly trying to be a lot like, you know what I'm saying? Like Taylor Swift obviously has got a lot of power within the Grammys. I imagine, you know, if she didn't want her in, she might not have been in. But again, that's all alleged. Because I would understand if Taylor Swift would feel uncomfortable around Ashley. Like there was another piece of content that Ashley did where I think she like allegedly hired bodyguards in public to make herself look like Taylor Swift and everyone was swarming her. Like as you can see here, all these people are surrounding what looks like Taylor Swift, but it's not Taylor Swift. It's Ashley. It's Ashley Leech. And obviously she's wearing like the sunglasses and the hat, which to me, you could say that's her hiding her face, but to me, that's kind of her hiding her face so that she's recognised more. So it makes it more kind of ambiguous. Do you know what I mean? Because if you can't see most of her face and she looks like Taylor Swift, some people will go up to her and it only takes one person to go up to her for like 2, 3, 10, 20, 40 people to follow. And again, I don't really understand why you would do this apart from like seeking attention, kind of feel what it feels like to be famous, I guess. Now, apparently this was like a prank that Ashley was involved in, but I don't know. I just don't think even accepting to be in that kind of environment when you say that you've got your own platform and stuff is a really good thing to do. I guess it's not really that deep and it's not like life-changing, you know, it's not going to like really severely harm someone, but it's not going to help your case when you're saying that you're not trying to be like Taylor Swift, because she has said that on many occasions on podcasts that she's just trying to be herself.
3 years apart. But you know what it is? It's your body language too. It's interesting because that statistic says that we have twins, but you share personality and body movements as well. So you're not trying to be Taylor. This is you.
No, this is just me. I walk awkwardly.
Which, again, I'm like sometimes I'm on the fence because I'm like, you know, that's a person who, from her perspective, she might be like, oh my God, like this, obviously I look like her and everyone says I look like her and, you know, subconsciously I'm doing things, I'm overthinking everything. But then again, there's too many occasions that you've tried to be like her that I can't put myself in that mind space. Do you know what I mean? Am I talking nonsense here? Am I talking gibberish? Let us know. I need to see some of these looks she's done in like video format just so I can really see, because photos can be edited. Okay. Yeah. Mate. Genuinely, like, because I know what Taylor Swift looked like, but I don't like know exactly like every detail of her face. You could fool me with this. Like if Chloe said to me, oh, look at this video of Taylor Swift dancing, and I wasn't really paying attention, I'd be like, oh yeah, whatever. Like people used to say that I look like Cameron Dallas. Can I show you a photo if you don't know who this guy is? I always used to get called this guy in school, and I had the same name as him, and people used to say that I was calling myself Cameron so I could be more like him, and I had no idea who he was. The only reason I knew who he was because people kept calling us it. Now I don't think I look like him. Like I don't think I look like this, you know? Maybe I do, but I don't think we look alike. He's got great teeth, you know? I look like if someone tried to draw him from memory, you know? If like a child, if someone tried to draw him with a crayon, this is this, right? One thing I do think that is interesting with Ashley compared to with Paige is obviously Ashley is a mother. And I wonder if somebody asked Ashley the question, like, how would you feel if, you know, your daughter was really famous and someone was doing all of these things to your daughter? Would you feel comfortable with that? And I think that's a good kind of, you know, mind frame for her to think about it from. If she would, then I guess she would carry on. And if she would go, actually, probably not, then I think that tells you all that you need to know about what you're doing. I know it's not a competition, but I definitely think Paige takes it one step further because of the OF stuff and because of like how much she profits off it. But Ashley still does to an extent as well. Anyway, Donuts, if you want to watch another video from me that is very similar to this one, where we look at Matt and Abby, who are one of the most famous couples on the internet. However, there's a lot of stuff behind the scenes that really isn't right with them and is very alarming. If you want to go and watch my video on that, click that. I'll see you over there. Bye-bye.
Camkirkham, baby.